on discussing the off-Broadway production of Laurence Fishburne's one-man show, Like They Do in the Movies, written by and starring Fishburne, directed by Leonard Foglia, running through March 30th at the Perlman Performing Arts Center at 251 Fulton Street in New York City. Help me have a classic Hollywood ending by becoming a patron on my Patreon page. For as little as $1 a month, you can help me meet expenses for this show as well as my podcast, Yesterday's Matinee. Thank you to my patrons and welcome to the new ones. I'll leave a link in the description. Laurence Fishburne has had a long and storied career going back to his first credits as a child actor at the age of 11, his budding success with Cornbread Earl and Me, then films like Apocalypse Now and A Color Purple, and hits like Boys in the Hood and The Matrix. Like They Do in the Movies is an autobiographical piece of sorts. Though its title implies a narrative cinematic in nature, there are no recitations of scenes from films nor any recollections of his time working on any film projects. Instead, we get a curiously intimate story of not only Fishburne, but of people in his life that he has come across and who tell him their stories. Some of the stories we hear include a lawyer who stays with his wife and child in a hospital in New Orleans during Hurricane Katrina, getting stranded in the hospital for a week, a bodyguard who talks about the struggles of a polyamorous relationship, a homeless man washing Fishburne's car who talks about a run-in with gangster John Gotti, a brothel owner in Australia who waxes philosophic on American politics and prudishness, and others. These stories are bookended by Fishburne telling stories about his own life, particularly his childhood, his budding interest in the performing arts, and his relationship with his mother and assumed father. There are some heavy personal stories about sexual abuse he received as a child and dealing with his mother, who suffers from a narcissistic personality disorder, and dealing with his father, Big Fish, and his mother, Hattie, as they reach their older years and their health wanes. What makes it all the more interesting is that Fishburne prefaces the show by saying that the stories he will tell may be true, untrue, and sometimes something in between, and only some of the stories he lets us know are true, making the others disputable as to their complete validity. Though all written by Fishburne, and his passion for his work is apparent in his performance as he embodies the various characters, it seemed also apparent that Fishburne at times was reaching for words in some of his monologues. Still, the stories are all entertaining and sometimes touching with intimate candidness, and though he is sometimes spotty in his lines, he gives different degrees of minutia through each piece, finding the remarkable in the simple, everyday human who happens to have some connection with whom they would view as a celebrity. At 2.5 hours, Like They Do in the Movies, does run a bit long. Editing down the different segments or removing one entirely would go a long way in fixing the pacing of the piece. Still, Fishburne's gravitas on the stage makes Like They Do in the Movies an overall entertaining and intimate production. How much of it is true, I can't tell. Like They Do in the Movies will likely entertain you if you're a Laurence Fishburne fan. It does run a little long, but overall stays engaging and enlightening. But I am only one man's opinion, so be sure to leave yours in the comments below. If you'd like to see Like They Do in the Movies, I'll leave a link in the description where you can get tickets. Also in the description will be a link to my Patreon page. Don't forget to visit that as well. You can also support my channel by liking, sharing, and subscribing, and click the notification bell to be alerted to future reviews. My next review will be the new Broadway production of An Enemy of the People. Thank you for watching, and I will see you at the theater.